Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Surah Mursalat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is taking an oath by five kinds of wind in the first five verses of Surah Mursalat. Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal mursalat urfa fal asifat asfa wal nashirat nashra fal fariqat farqa fal mulqiyat dhikra. So the first kind of wind which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is taking oath of is the continuous wind that keeps on coming one after another. This is the movement of the wind. Wind is continuously moving. If the wind doesn't move, the life will not sustain on this earth. There would be no life on earth. Because if the wind is not moving, the air will contaminate just like water. If water is not moving, water contaminates. Similarly, if the wind is not moving, the air will contaminate. Not only that, not only contaminate, the temperature will be unbearable if the wind is not moving. The movement of wind makes the temperature moderate. In the sunny areas, when the wind moves, it cools down the temperature. And in the cold area, when the wind moves, it also decreases the cold weather. In north and south pole, if the wind is not moving, the ice will spread more all over the world. The ice can spread all over the world if the wind is not moving in the north and south pole. It will, it will spreads very far away also. So the movement of wind is necessary to sustain life on earth. Allah is taking oath of the Mursalat Urfa. And why the wind is moving? This is also mentioned in Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَفِي الْأَرْضِ قِطْعٌ مُتَجَاوِرَاتٌ. In earth we have made separate plots that are joined together. Separate plots of different texture that are joined together. So why the wind is moving? The wind is moving because of the different kind of air pressure. And why is this different kind of air pressure? Because the earth has different kind of textures. Some of the earth is there's water. Water heats slowly, and there is rocks, and there's desert, and there's soft soil, there's hard soil. So all these textures, they are heated at different temperatures. So whenever a place, like there's a one place will heat up quickly, so that place, what happens, the wind will go up. Okay, because and the air pressure will decrease there, and the air pressure decrease there, the surrounding in wind moves toward the low pressure area. So this different texture of the earth is creating movement of the winds. If you take the atmosphere to the Mars, the wind will not move because Mars has the same structure. And this movement of the wind is also creating waves in the ocean. If there are no waves in the ocean, what will happen? No waves in the, what will happen? The what do you call the water in the sea will also contaminate. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is taking the oath of the fal asifat asfa, the fast wind that can carry objects, the hurricane, the tornadoes. Also, this fast wind is making things fly. All the birds are flying because of rihan asifa, the fast wind. Even the planes are flying because of rihan asifa. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has also mentioned about Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam, that Allah made the fast wind subservient to Sulaiman alayhi salam. وَلِسُلَيْمَانَ الرِّيحَ عَاصِفَةً تَجْرِي بِأَمْرِهِ. And we made subservient the fast wind to Sulaiman alayhi salam, which moved by his command. And he used to make his throne fly with this wind. And this is the same wind which makes the planes fly. When the plane is running on the ground, what is happening? The wind is hitting its wings. And the more fast the plane runs on the runway, the more fast the air is hitting the wind until it exerts so much pressure that the plane flies, until it is the Rihan Asif, the fast wind makes the plane fly. So Allah is taking oath of the fast wind here. And then we have the one Nashirat Nashra and Falfariqat Farqa. the wind that is scattering and distributing, and the wind that is breaking. So what is this? What are these two kind of wind? The wind that is distributing or scattering, and the wind that is breaking or making groups. What is this? This is, if you, there's another verse which if you read that verse, we'll understand what is the distributor or scattering winds and the wind that is breaking. Another verse tells us, Azbillah min ash-shaytanir Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alam tara anna Allah yuzji sahaban summa yuallifu bainahu summa yaj'aluhu rukaman fatara al-wadka yakhruju min khilali وينزل من السماء من جبال فيها من برد فيصيب به من يشاء ويسر من يشاء يقال سنا برقه يذهب بالأبصار. And don't you see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is moving the clouds slowly, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is bringing them together. I mean, so clouds are moving slowly and then they're coming together to make big clouds. These are the nashra, the scatter, the distributor, who are moving the clouds and converting into big clouds and taking them to the place where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordered the rain to fall. This is the distributor, the scatterer. And then what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Summa yaj'aluhu rukaman, and Allah converts them into layers. And in the layer, from this layer, the water drops. This is the falfariqa, the farqa, the wind that breaks the cloud into layer. It's proven that all the rain falls from the clouds that have layers. There are two kind of cloud which have rain. One cloud, they are have layers in horizontal. They bring uniform normal rain, and there are clouds which are in layer vertical layer. They bring high rain, high storms. So and who is changing the cloud into layer? The falfarika, the farka, the wind that breaks the cloud. When the clouds are converted into layers, what happens? The water vapors are condensed and then they are heavy enough to drop as raindrops. So this is the falfarika, the farka, the wind that converts the cloud into layer and breaks it down. And then we have the falmulqiyat zikra, the wind that is the wind that makes the faithful remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's mentioned here also in other verse. You see here. وهو الذي يرسل الرياح بشرا بين يدي رحمته حتى إذا قل سحابا ثقالا سقناه لبلد ميت فأنزلنا به الماء فأخرجنا به من كل ثمرات كذلك نخرج الموتى لعلكم تذكرون. And he is the one who's bringing the air, the wind, which gives good news of blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So a place where there's less rain, what happens before the rain? Cool wind comes and people, believers, they know the rain is coming. And what they do? They thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this make them remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also sometimes the wind comes before a storm, and the believers, now they fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They ask for forgiveness through Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the mulka zikra is creating hope and fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala among the believers. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whenever there was wind used to blow, he used to be, have fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He used to go to the masjid and pray and ask forgiveness for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these are the five kind of wind. Mursalat urfa, the continuous movement of the wind that is necessary to sustain life. Asifa the asfa, the fast wind, the powerful wind that can fly objects. And then the nashrat nashra, the distributors of the cloud and bring crowd together to make big cloud and take them to their destination. And when the cloud reaches the destination, falfarika the farka, the breakers, the cloud breakers, which break the cloud into layers and then make the water vapor condensed to fall as rain, and then the fal mulk as zikra, the wind that creates hope and fear among the faithful, and they remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It also means because the faithful they always ponder in the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whether it's sun and star, all the different kind of wind. When they see these wind and these signs of Allah ta'ala, they remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then they say, Rabbana ma khalaqta hadha batil. Oh, our sustainer, what you have created is not random. It's not automatic. It's random. It's not random. It is created. It is created with perfection by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Quran, إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار لآيات إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار لآيات لأولي الألباب الذين يذكرون الله قياما وقعودا على جنوبهم ويتفكرون في خلق السماوات والأرض ربنا ما خلقت هذا باطلا سبحانك فقنا عذاب النار. In the creation of earth and skies and the change of day and night, they are signs for those who have wisdom. And who are the people of wisdom? People of wisdom are those who remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala while they are standing, while they are sitting, while they are lying down, and they ponder in the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they say, oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, oh our sustainer, what you have created is not random, is not without any reason. Oh Allah, you are the Subhan, you are the pure and forgive our sins. So these are the five kind of winds which are mentioned in Surah Musalat. Assalamu alaikum.